Welcome, everybody, to the X Factor podcast. Today, we're going to be reviewing AEW's World's End that just happened here on pay-per-view a couple days ago. Where it's going to be up on a Tuesday, but we're going to get it right going here today. Or it was on Saturday. It's Tuesday now. Hope you all had a good New Year's. X Factor Wrestling Awards will be coming out in just a few short days. I'm getting my list right, shortened up, and then we'll be talking about later down the week. We'll have NFL Week 17 to talk about, plus the college football playoff just started. Some exciting games that happened over the weekend. We're going to talk about them later in the week. So we're going to start off right now with the pre-show, or the 0 hour, as I might say, for AEW's World's End, as Willow Nightingale goes on against Chris Statlander. This match was set up by Stokely Hathaway because they're both from Long Island. Boom, you put them into Long Island. Hometown girls right into the pre-show. Very good match, I will say, to start off the pre-show and the show overall for AEW World's End. It was a 13-minute match. The match is good overall, but there was one little spot that it was at near the end. Willow went to go for her traditional finisher, the power bomb, and she picked her up, and she fell, and then Statlander kind of did like a leg drop, which I kind of like how the announcers said, or Nigel said, oh wait, she went for a leg drop, and then Willow goes for the pin, and there was a little bit of a mess up there, but also looked unique at the same time. So Willow Nightingale picks her back up, goes back for the powerbomb. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Willow takes the win. Very exciting match to start off the show as Chris Statlander takes the L, which is her second loss in a row, with Stokely Hathaway in as he's in as commentary. He was on Wednesday talking, and she lost to Sky Blue. And Sky Blue did her little finisher off the top rope. It was awesome. Willow Nightingale, I feel like she is now into a spot where she could go on and compete for that TBS championship, maybe even the world championship, because she already went after Athena, lost. Maybe it's her time now to try to go after something, the big gold. So that would be awesome to see. And as for Chris Statlander, she needs to get going a little bit. She is right now on a slump right now since she lost her TBS championship, but I feel like now what they're doing with her and Stokely, I feel like there's a future right ahead of her. So that is going to be a very interesting case to see what's going to happen over the next few weeks, and especially to start out with the new year with AEW Dynamite. And a 20-man battle royal for a future TNT championship match at any time, anywhere, any place, as long as they have the contract with them. Killswitch won by eliminating Trent Beretta, which was Killswitch, aka Luchasaurus. The battle royal, I feel like a lot of them was just a bunch of guys that they don't really put on TV as much. I think the one guy that probably had a real big chance to win it outside of Luchasaurus was Lance Archer and Butcher, because Butcher's been very good in battle royals when it comes to AEW battle royals. So I feel like he had a good shot to win it, but did not win it. Danhausen somehow was able to stick through and almost win it too, but Trent Beretta eliminated him. So Killswitch won that. That would go on to hit later on in the night. So that was a little bit, a little bit of that. Hook defeated Wheeler Yuta by submission in an FTW Rules match for the FTW Championship. Nothing really much going here. Hook pretty much just took care of business like he always does. Takes down Wheeler Yuta, wins. Two guys that I feel like that can be a future of the company at some point. Especially Hook, because he's like a smaller version of Taz, I think. It's just everything he does. It reminds you of Taz, just like in a skinnier version of him. So, good 3 matches to start with the pre-show, and then we go on the main show where Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, Mark Briscoe, and Daniel Garcia defeated Brody King, Jay White, Jay Lethal, and Roosh. Uh, Overall, I think this was one of the best matches they've had on the card. Even though it was one of those all-star 8-man tags that didn't really mean nothing. All the guys that were in it were the people who lost in the Continental Classic. um, Mark Briscoe does amazing stuff all the time. So what's new? Daniel Garcia, I feel like he needs. I feel like the Continental Classic helped him, but hurt him at the same time because a year ago or a year or two ago, he was feuding with Bryan Danielson, feuding with Jericho, and now he's and then he took a little bit of a slump off after that, and now he comes into this and pretty much he wins it for him. He was outstanding in the Continental Classic, outstanding in this too. Um, Mark Briscoe, Danielson, Castagnoli, you can expect great matches out of them anytime. But Daniel Garcia, slowly making his way up the pole. And as you got Brody King, Jay White, Jay Lethal, and Roosh. Well, Brody King has proved himself in the Continental Classic that he can be a lone guy without having the House of Black with him. And Brody King reminds me a lot about Terry Gordy with the size, strength, the way they both work in the ring. It fits everything about them, except that Terry Gordy didn't have thousands of tattoos on his body. um, Jay Lethal, I feel like, when he first joined up with, um, Jeff Jarrett and Satnam Singh and all them, it had potential, but now I don't know where this is leading to because he hasn't really done much since then. He did the Continental Classic, he did a great job, did not win any of the matches though. But I'm interested to see what they could do next with him. Roosh, another future in the company, just like Daniel Garcia, who has been, he really caught my eye when him and Dragon Lee went off last year at Ring of Honor's Final Battle. Absolutely amazing. I didn't really see much of him up until that point because this is when, and again, I don't remember a lot that happened in that 2022 year and a lot of some of that stuff. A lot of it's just blinking flights on some things. But when that happened, he really sparked an interest in my eye. Plus, when he faced Danielson in early January, early February, whenever, when he was doing the stuff with MJF, he really shocked my then when he did all that. And then when he came back, he did this Continental Classic stuff, and he is absolutely one of the best stars on the roster. No doubt about it. He is a future world champion in AEW. Anywhere you go, he is a future world champion. And then we have Jay White, where I feel like after the stuff with MJF, I've been very disappointed on what, he did the Continental Classic. I feel like he should have won the Continental Classic to face Eddie Kingston. But I feel like what in the cards they had going on, it didn't fit in the right place. He should have beaten MJF at full gear, but he didn't get a spot. I feel like he can get a spot if they do it rightly in the future. But what I'm really interested to see is what they're gonna do later on with him, because if people keep saying he was the game changer, people keep saying that he was the future of AEW. Well, now that he is in the down, losing to MJF, losing this, we need to see him get back up, and that's what I'm most excited for. Miro versus Andrade. Miro won by submission. Another very good match by both guys. Andrade had CJ Perry, Miro's wife, aka Lana, to WWE fans that don't watch AEW. Lana, CJ Perry, same person, and married to Miro, aka Rusev, to the WWE fans. He defeated Andrade, El Idolo, and what I really want to talk about from this is, well, first off, the crowd was dead most of that match, so that doesn't really help much of it. But then CJ Perry helps Miro in a way to win, and Andrade, it goes out into sunlight, where it is rumored that his contract was up, and there's rumors that he might be going to WWE. So that is some interesting news to happen. How he could show up at the Rumble, he could show up anywhere, anytime. Um, but that is just another thing to look forward to into the future days to come. Timeless Tony Storm with Luther defeats Riho by pinfall in an 11-minute match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Um, Tony Storm, in my opinion, is currently the best wrestler on the roster, outside of a couple of wrestlers, but they're like close to her. But the gimmick or the character that she's doing, absolutely amazing. She it just fits her so well. Luther, I feel like I would never thought I would ever say Luther would fit in a spot in a character so much, but with him and Tony Storm, perfect. And then you got Riho, and Riho is a very, very underrated wrestler. She gets so much hate from so many other podcasters, which some of them you might know. You know, there's maybe a little bit of a corny thing going on there, um, from the past, but she is a very underrated star. And even though with her size she could still go, she is very good in the ring. Um, her, Io Sky, Asuka, like they're. I feel like a lot of women wrestlers need to learn from some of those Japan wrestlers because they know, like they can, you can have 100 Japan women wrestlers and they would do better than 90% of the rosters on both sides in WWE and AEW. um, we've seen it too. We've seen it multiple times. I feel like the Joshi Japanese women's wrestling is taking over America in a way, and I like it because it gives us more options to notice. Okay, well we've seen what they do here, but what's going on over in Japan? Like, what do they do in Japan that makes these people so good? You look over in Japan, All Japan, Stardom, all that, boom, and you put it right down to the mat, and you know what they look like, and you know how good they are. As of for this match, though, I really enjoyed the match. Riho did take the L though, so that's kind of expected though because Tony Storm is gonna have a long title reign, so that's that. Swerve Strickland versus Dustin Rhodes. Um, it was supposed to be Keith Lee, but he's been dealing with an injury since 2022 and Arthur Ashe when they faced the Acclaimed for the AEW Tag Titles. I don't know what injury he's been dealing with, but he re-aggravated it. Now he did not face Swerve. Dustin Rhodes came in for a spot. Swerve took him out in the knee and pretty much just destroyed him after that. And it looked, and Dustin Rhodes I think he was planning on retiring. So this could be his retirement stage right here. So that is also sucks. But the match overall, I feel like it was alright. Swerve, I feel like he should go right for the world championship. I feel like they need to put him in a babyface stage at this point because you come out there, you think he's a heel, but like when he's going, you got Prince Donna doing the dance, and everything, everyone's all happy. I feel like the only way you can end that is if Swerve doesn't make Nana dance, but then you're just gonna ruin what they all do, and that would also help him be in the babyface side of things. So I feel like they need to make him babyface and go on and try to become AEW's world champion and the first ever African American AEW world champion, not that I feel like that he is talked about a lot of the times during his podcast, or I've heard him say to other people that he wants that spot. The next match, Les Sexcogs, Jericho, and Sammy Guevara, Sting and Darby defeated Ricky Starks, Big Bill, and the Don Callis family, Togoshi Takeshita, and Powerhouse Hobbs. First things first, we're going to get a couple things out of the way here. This match made no sense to nobody. Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho were feud with Sting and Darby a couple months ago. Doesn't make sense whatsoever. Kenny did unfortunately have to go out with diverticulitis, so he is out for we don't know how long, but it's gonna be a significant amount of time. So Sammy did have to come back, take his spot, and is now a babyface again, which in a way it's lazy booking, but then again it's what else could you really do? Because you could have Daniel Garcia take his spot, but he was doing the Continental Classic. So there's no really, the cards don't fit with him. Or you could have just had Jericho go single and have Ricky Starks, Big Bill take him out for a bunch of weeks. Who knows? Um, and another thing, Chris Jericho, the allegations that have been going out since Saturday, well, Friday, Saturday. So it all started with Jericho's rant on Twitter about some NDA stuff, saying that he didn't sign no NDA to the Brawl Out stuff, and pretty much drunk tweeting, I'm assuming. And Nick Houseman tweeted on something saying, what about the NDAs you made other people sign? Speculation comes out that he is, or allegations come out that he is trying to make a move or try to sexually assault a women wrestler named Kylie Ray um, um, a couple years ago when she was in AEW. Asked for her release. She's no longer in AEW. She retired for a bit, tried to come back to WWE. Didn't really work things out there. Um, so that is going on. But first off, I want to get things out of the way. If this allegation, these allegations have been out for forever, and because you can look on Twitter, they've been out forever. Which if you're assuming that they are true, shame on Chris Jericho for not being the right person, not doing the right thing. And I get people always do dumb things. People always do stupid stuff all the time. Like it's just how people are. No one's perfect. Also, shame on Nick Houseman for just bringing that up out of nowhere for no reason. And pretty much keeping it in the bag for just waiting for him, for Jericho to be down with drunk texting, and then you pull out this and compare him to Harvey Weinstein and all that, and it's so pretty much that is what that is. And now Chris Jericho is now going to get the CM Punk treatment when he goes to shows because of all this. Like I said, if it is true, shame on Jericho. Hope he can fix to be a better person. But again, this happened 4 years ago. And so a lot has probably happened. Maybe stuff has been settled. Who knows? Hopefully Jericho learned from his mistake, and now that the allegations are fully out, hopefully he has learned his mistake. Because that is just not should be tolerated. And also, the people that are going after Jericho should have the same energy for Vince McMahon. So, and a lot of people did not or don't have it. So, so if you want to have the same energy for Jericho, you might have the same one for Vince McMahon, who ran a company. But I said, shame on Jericho, shame on Houseman. Hopefully they can, or Jericho can be a better person down the line, be a better person, fix your mistakes. That's all I got. That's all I'm going to say about it. So that's it. There's no other talk about it, unless other stuff come out. But other than that, that's it. Overall for this match was not really that good. It was just there. It was so. Julia Hart versus Abaddon, another match. Like, we legit had 3 matches from Swerve to Dustin Rhodes to La Sex Gods and all of them versus the Dallas Callis family and Ricky Starks Big Bill to Julia Hart to Abaddon. 3 matches. And Swerve and Dustin probably didn't. And I can't even blame them because they didn't even have expected what was going to happen. But the other 2 matches, and the Julia Hart match, I'm not even blaming Julia Hart. I'm more blaming Abaddon because she was out for like 2.5 years or a year and a half. No bringing in, no, it's not seen on TV, and then suddenly, boom, she's out of the blue getting title matches. So, that was just random. So, blaming her a little bit for not getting, for not having just a pretty decent match. It was just now we're gonna get to the final 3 matches, final 3 matches, or aka 4 matches. And they were the most insane spots of the whole show. Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Edge, versus Christian Cage for the TNT Championship in a no disqualification match. Let's just say this match was just insane, all out. They were destroying each other throughout. Edge put Nick Wayne through a flaming table, So that was fucking insane. Edge also jumped off a balcony onto Nick Wayne and Christian Cage. Edge did end up with the win, but then next thing you know, Luchasaurus comes in, takes him out, gives Cage the contract after Cage yelled at him. Cage signed the contract, wins the title back. And people want to get pissed off about this, but this was some of the craziest, that's pure here. That's big heel work, if we're being honest. Christian Cage has been in the top of his game all year. And now that he is, he could win a world championship in any company, and I would not be mad at it because he has been so good all year. And this is just his moment to shine. And now with Edge, I don't know what's going to happen with Edge. Hopefully, maybe he goes after a world championship. I don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Also with Kill Switch, Luchasaurus, who knows? Maybe Luchasaurus goes after Christian Cage. Who knows? Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley for the AEW's Continental Championship, the Ring of Honor Championship, and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship for the Continental Final to be the first ever, the inaugural Triple Crown Champion, American Triple Crown Champion. And this match was as good as you expected. Moxley and Eddie also know each other very well. And people tried hating this on this match, but this also shows how small of a bubble the IWC is, because they will, like the last couple weeks, all I've heard was people bitching and bitching and bitching about AEW when it hasn't been that bad. This match in particular was not that bad either. It was one of the better matches on the card, actually, and Eddie Kingston wins off one of his backhand smacks. I can't remember what he calls it, but does take the win over Jon Moxley, and an incredible win. And Eddie's just like the rest of his heroes from Japan. He is now a Triple Crown champion. Samoa Joe versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. Before the match, Adam Cole came out in a shock, and after that, it was pretty much rolling. After that, MJF and Samoa Joe battling each other. MJF, with the torn labrum and everything, he battled through a lot of it. Near the end, MJF tried to get the ring from Adam Cole. Adam Cole lost it, found it, and then Samoa Joe puts him to sleep before he even hit him, and then wins off a submission when MJF was just out. To me, that was the most shocking way they could have put it. I thought he was going to win dirty or some way, or Adam Cole turns on him. MJF, though, he lost off just straight submission. So that is a real shock. And then after the match, Adam Cole went to go, hug MJF and everything, says it was okay. Next thing you know, those guys are out. And the devil and all that. So next thing you know, they're taking out MJF, Adam Cole, lights go out. Next thing you know after that, MJF is sitting in the ring, and the devil and all them are all looking at MJF while Adam Cole is right behind him. So you could probably see what happened after that. Adam Cole reveals himself as the devil. So that was a real shocker. To most people it was a shocker. To me it wasn't really, because MJF, it was kind of obvious from the start that one of them two were going to turn on each other. And it was just a matter of who and when and how. And first off, the devil storyline and everything was probably the best way they could have put it. Everyone bitched about it and complained about it for months, but to me, I feel like this was the perfect way to take out MJF, and especially if this is his last run or last scene in AEW, this was perfect right here. Take him out, give the company one for all you've done with the company, and now we get to see Adam Cole as the devil and see what he does after that. And the one thing is, Wardlow was one that really shocked me too. I wasn't surprised by Kingdom or Roderick or Adam. I was surprised because Wardlow has been in a faction before, and I feel like he should be in his own little thing. But we're going to have to see what they do over the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. But to be very surprising on what happens after that. So, that's all I got for y'all today. AEW World's End was one of the better pay-per-views of the year. Really enjoyed it. I will talk to y'all later. Wrestling Awards will be out in a couple of days. Week 17 review and college football playoff review will be out in a day or so, and Monday Night Raw review will also be out in a day or so. So, y'all stay blessed and have a good day.